Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Stallings Stadium at Elm Street Park here in Greenville, North Carolina for today's championship game of the 2013 Tournament of State Champions between the home team, Florida, and the visiting team, Georgia. Good morning and welcome to everyone listening not only in Georgia and Florida, but family members and friends that may be listening from other parts of the country and here locally in Greenville, North Carolina. We'd like to welcome you to our broadcast this morning as we get ready to play what will be the 15th game and final game of this tournament this morning between two outstanding baseball teams who both interplay today with a perfect record in this 2013 Tournament of State Champions. As the home team, Florida, prepares to take the field, we'll set the stage for you here. Again, both of these teams got through district tournaments and state tournaments to appear here as the only representative from their respective states, have played through 3 pool play games, and then both got through very tough semifinal games yesterday in order to advance here. Florida with a 3-2 hard-fought victory yesterday over a very game West Virginia squad in Game 2 and in Game 1 of the day yesterday. Georgia, again in an outstanding game, fought off an excellent South Carolina team in order to advance to today's championship game. We'll have the starting lineups for you in just a moment. Be back in just a moment with the starting lineups. We've got to set this thing up next year where we're not right beside each other. It's really hard. Yeah, really what we need to do is... All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to introduce the starting lineups right now for you. First defensively, for North Springs, Florida. North Springs Little League out of Coral Springs, Florida. On the mound today is going to be Kobe Mayo. And behind the plate, number 7, Colin Flynn. Behind the plate will be Colin Flynn. Playing first base today, Richie Pena. Number 7, Joshua Melton. Playing second base will be Luis Fuentes. Over at shortstop will be Zach Spano, third base Caleb Sear, left field Sean Shambo, center field Timmy Manning, and right field Tyler Kraft, again for North Springs Little League out of Coral Springs, Florida, the Florida State Champions. Give you the offensive lineup for Georgia in just a moment, but leading off for Martinez Evans Little League will be the leadoff hitter Joshua Melton. And the first pitch of this championship game is delivered high for ball 1. So Melton stands in, leading off the game, 1-0 count, and the pitch is taken outside by Melton. Again, after this batter, we'll give you the offensive starting lineup for the Georgia State Champions. And Melton takes a called strike one on the outside corner from Kobe Mayo. Again, the starting battery for Florida, Mayo and Flynn. And taken low and away for ball 3. So 3-1 the count to the leadoff hitter, Joshua Melton, the shortstop for Martinez Evans Little League out of Evans, Georgia. And that's fouled away.
Your attention, please. Please do not sit on the brick walls. Thank you.
Great crowd on hand this morning.
What?
And the payoff pitch taken away for ball 4. So Joshua Melton able to induce a leadoff walk here for Georgia to get things started for them here in the top of the first inning.
Now batting number 99, Trevor Cragen.
That'll bring Trevor Cragen to the plate. Cragen, the tall left-handed hitter. Been a big part of this tournament for Georgia so far. Hit the first home run of the tournament earlier, obviously, in the week. So Cragen will stand in as the 2-hole hitter, and first pitch is taken for a strike. So Melton leads off, Cragen batting second for Georgia, Grant Fuller batting third, John D'Amelio will bat cleanup, Blake Tucker in the 5-hole, Preston Price batting 6th, Cameron Dunbar 7th, Connor Bone 8th, and Brian Peel will bat in the 9-hole as the starters today for the Georgia State Champions. As Cragen quickly in an 0-2 hole as he swings through the second pitch. So the 0-2 pitch Taken for a called strike 3, fastball down the middle. So Cragen down on strikes. And Kobe Mayo, after issuing the leadoff walk, quickly comes back with 3 straight strikes.
Now batting number 11, Grant Fuller.
Like to welcome in the folks at Hurricane Grill and Wings in Coral Springs, Florida. We understand they're showing a live broadcast of the game today and listening to us. So again, welcome into all the folks down in Florida at Hurricane Grill and Wings in Coral Springs. Hope you enjoy the broadcast today. Your team's been a lot of fun to get to know over the last 5 days. As the Georgia manager calls timeout.
It's 1-0. That's what he's saying.
Again, 1 out here in the top of the first. Joshua Melton on first base for Georgia. And Grant Fuller at the plate as Fuller takes outside for a ball, evening the count at 1-1. Again, I mentioned great crowd on hand today. And the 1-1 pitch. That gets in the dirt, gets away. That's going to allow Melton to advance to second base. So Melton now stands on second with 1 out. Very spirited crowd, as you would imagine, from both the Georgia and Florida faithful that have been here for the entire tournament since last Friday. But a lot of locals here this morning as well supporting this championship game. And the 2-1 pitch. And that's fouled off for strike 2. Again, appreciate you listening here this morning. We'll do our best to bring y'all the action as specifically as we can. An army of volunteers here putting these broadcasts on. And that's taken outside for ball 3. So 3-2 the count here to the number 3 hitter, Grant Fuller. And Fuller takes a called strike 3, fastball in the inside corner. And Kobe Mayo able to strike out both Cragen and Fuller here in the first inning. That'll bring John D'Amelio, the catcher, to the plate. D'Amelio pretty much gone the distance behind the plate this week for the Georgia squad as he swings through the curveball for strike 1. And that's ripped foul down the left field line. So quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 is Kobe Mayo. After delivering a leadoff walk to Joshua Melton, he's settled down with consecutive strikeouts and now has the cleanup hitter John D'Amelio in an 0-2 hole. And the 0-2 delivery. Taken outside for ball 1. And the 1-2 pitch, again, outside. So again, Joshua Melton, after a leadoff walk, able to advance to second, the ball that got away from the catcher. Stands there with 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. D'Amelio at the plate, check swing, appeal down to first, and they say he did go. Catcher applies the tag. And Kobe Mayo, impressive after delivering a leadoff walk to Joshua Melton, comes back and strikes out 3 consecutive batters, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. And we go to the bottom of the first. No score here in the Southeast Championship game of Tournament State Champions. Back in a moment. So, welcome back here as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Again, no score. Georgia with the leadoff runner reaching at the top of the first in the person of Joshua Melton, drawing the leadoff walk, but not able to advance past second base as Kobe Mayo comes back and impressively strikes out the next three batters.
Your attention, please. Now entering the game for Georgia, number 13, Avery Boyd. For number 99, Trevor Craig in the second spot.
And let's quickly set the defensive alignment for Georgia and then make you aware of one change that's already taken place. First of all, on the mound today for Georgia will be Grant Fuller, number 11. So Fuller on the mound, and behind the plate, John D'Amelio, as he has been for the entire tournament. So again, the battery for Georgia, Fuller and D'Amelio. Starting at first today is Cameron Dunbar, Connor Bone at second base, shortstop Joshua Melton, and at third is Preston Price. In left field is Blake Tucker. In center field, Trevor Cragen started, and Brian Peel over in right. Kobe Mayo will be leading off for Florida. And we'll make you aware of one defensive substitution already. So Mayo steps in to lead off for Florida. We'll give you the offensive lineup for Florida in just a moment as the first pitch is delivered high for ball one. Trevor Cragen, who's been one of the stars this week for Georgia, started in center field and batted second in the lineup. Cragen was very sick this morning as the pitch is delivered inside for a strike, inside corner by Fuller. Tried to give it a go in his first at-bat, had his first at-bat, came into the dugout, and apparently is not able to continue. So Avery Boyd is in the game for Trevor Cragen here defensively in the bottom of the first inning. Again, Cragen not feeling well this morning. We were made aware of that before the game. Did not want to mention it until we saw if he'd be able to go or not, in fairness to Georgia, as the count's now 1-2 strikes to the leadoff hitter Kobe Mayo, and Mayo fouls that off down the first base line. So Cragen, again, gave it a roll for Georgia, not feeling well in between innings, and Avery Boyd is in the game for Trevor Cragen. So a tough break for Georgia and a particularly tough break for Cragen. And a swing and a miss, but that ball is going to get away from the catcher, and on the strikeout, Kobe Mayo is going to be able to advance down to first base as the pitch got away. Looked like an off-speed pitch. Hit D'Amelio's glove a little bit outside. Wasn't able to secure it.
Now batting number 2, Timmy Manning.
So both teams now with the leadoff hitter reaching base as Kobe Mayo is on the strikeout that gets away. And Timmy Manning will now step in. Again, the offensive lineup for Florida, Mayo leading off, Timmy Manning batting second, Sean Shambo batting third, Richie Pena hitting cleanup, Caleb Sear batting fifth, Colin Flynn sixth, Zach Spano batting seventh, Tyler Kraft batting eighth, and Luis Fuentes batting ninth. So 0-2 the count now to Timmy Manning with one runner on, no one out. That pitch is wasted high, as he has all week. Manning going with the upside down trident look with his eye black. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by Manning for strike three. So Fuller with a big strikeout of Timmy Manning here after issuing the leadoff walk.
Now batting number 12, Sean Shambo.
Florida has sported the eye black, part of their look. Each of these teams with different traditions and rituals and ways of warming up. And one of the things about Florida is they've sported the eye black all week, regardless of the time of day they've played. So Sean Shambo steps in quickly behind 0-1, and that pitch is delivered behind Shambo. He gets out of the way. Again, Kobe Mayo with a leadoff walk stands on first. We'll get an update on Trevor Cragen's condition for those of you listening back home as soon as we can. Again, just not feeling well this morning and gave it a go, and right now not able to continue. Don't think it's anything super serious, just not feeling well. Stomach bug. As that's hit into right center field, that's going to get down for a base hit. Mayo's going to go around second and head to third base. Here comes the throw to third. Great throw, but he slides in safely, and on the throw, Sean Shambo advances to second. So Mayo sliding into third. Nice throw in center field from Avery Boyd.
Now batting number 10, Richie Pena.
Third baseman Preston Price a little bit up the line. Received the throw, not able to make the tag as Mayo came by him. So all of a sudden, in the bottom of the first, Florida's in business with runners on second and third after the walk and to Kobe Mayo, then the single to Sean Shambo. That'll bring Richie Pena to the plate. Again, I've mentioned several times during this tournament, Pena identified before the tournament started and talking with manager Matt Halpern as the emotional leader of this Florida team, and has a chance here early in this championship game to deliver a big knock here to possibly put Florida up 2-0. 2-0 the count to Pena. So 2 balls, no strikes. Runner second and third, 1 down here in the bottom of the first, no score. And the count quickly even at 2-2 on Richie Pena, the Florida first baseman. Again, the Georgia State champions out of Martinez Evans Little League in Evans, Georgia. And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Fuller able to get the big strike out of the cleanup hitter Richie Pena.
Now batting number 3, Caleb Sear.
So Caleb Sear steps in with 2 down here and runners in scoring position for Florida. And Sear takes strike 1. Again, the Florida State champions, as we've mentioned throughout the broadcast, North Springs Little League out of Coral Springs, Florida. And that ball hits Caleb Sear, bounces off the helmet. He's fine, trots down to first. But that'll load the bases for Colin Flynn. Again, Florida out of North Springs Little League in Coral Springs, Florida. Both of these teams very well coached, very well prepared. Had a chance to watch them since last Friday. Coaching staff for Florida is manager Matt Halpern, Coach Tony Stravino, and Coach Dan Sear. Deserve a lot of credit for getting these guys to this point. As Colin Flynn stands in and takes a ball high. Colin Flynn with the big single to lead things off and eventually come around as the game-winning run in the bottom of the 6th yesterday to advance Florida here. Again, tied 2-2 yesterday against West Virginia, headed into the bottom of the 6th. Flynn led off with a single, eventually came around to score on a dramatic hit for the 3-2 walk-off win for Florida yesterday in the bottom of the 6th over West Virginia. Great ball game as the count now stands at 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, bases loaded here. And that's popped up to the second baseman. He settles under it. And Connor Bone able to secure it for out number 3. So Florida threatens loading the bases here in the bottom of the first, but not able to scratch. We head to the top of the second. No score in the championship game. So welcome back here as we get ready to begin the second inning. Again, no score after 1 complete between Martinez Evans Little League out of Evans, Georgia, the Georgia State champion, and North Springs Little League out of Coral Springs, Florida, the Florida State champion. Again, folks, Many of you know this, but some of you may not. In order to arrive here, these teams had to win district tournaments, then had to win, in Florida's case, a sectional. Then both teams had to win state tournaments to emerge as the only team remaining from their respective states. There were 8 teams here as we began the tournament. Those states were Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. So those were the 8 teams that began play here in the 2013 Tournament of State Champions. Each team played 3 pool play games. After 3 pool play games, which began Saturday, the teams arrived on Friday, had an opening ceremonies, a cookout. Games began Saturday. 1 game was played each day on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then after pool play, the teams with the top 4 records advanced to semifinal Tuesday. And the 2 semifinal games were held yesterday. Again, Georgia defeating South Carolina and Florida defeating West Virginia in 2 fantastic Little League baseball games. Great pitching on both ends, solid defense and timely hitting. And that brings us to today. Again, this is the 4th Tournament of State Champions that's been held here in Greenville, North Carolina at Elm Street Park. We'll tell you more about the park later. As Georgia stands in, and quickly, Blake Tucker, first pitch he sees from Kobe Mayo to lead off the second, sharp single into center field. So Blake Tucker with the leadoff single for Georgia here to lead off the second inning. So again, Blake Tucker, leadoff single for Georgia. That'll bring Preston Price to the plate. A lot of P's in that sentence. So Price stands in and swings and misses at strike 1. Tucker stands on first, nobody out. Price at the plate. Swings and misses. Quickly behind 0-2 in the count is Price. And the 0-2 pitch from May.